Well, I'm always first, Collins. If you want to go first, you can.
There you go. So we're live and everybody's
Okay.
heard from Mike. So this is great. Welcome to OP Digital Blueprint. Glad you guys could join us. We've got an esteemed guest with us today, Collins and I. Mike Ellis, say hello.
Hi, everybody.
Collins.
Hey, let me behave like Andy. Nice to be here again. Welcome, Mike, to Digital Footprint.
What we wanted to do today, guys, was just really give you a little bit more of an insight as to, our thoughts and what's going on with OnPassive. And I know if you're like us, you're extremely excited by recent events in not only Dubai with the GITEC exhibition, but also in Cairo, in Sharm el Sheikh, I beg your pardon, in Egypt, with the League of Arab Nations. So, Mike, what I wanted you to do is to just give us a little bit more of an insight about those two and what it really means to us from OnPassive's point of view.
Yeah. Most people in OnPassive, they know we're in a very, very exciting place right now. Ash Mufareh has been giving us updates every week now for probably 3 or 4 or 5 weeks. And you can't see it, but I have notes all around me. And they're the notes from Ash. And I could take any one of the notes that he's given us and talk an hour about it. I mean, that's how powerful it is. I would recommend everybody here listen to Marty and Collins and Chris's webinar the other day. Really, actually 2 days ago. It was really, really good. It gives you an understanding of what's going on today within OnPassive, and there are no problems. And maybe Collins can hit on that later. He did a really great job with Marty. But what I want to focus on is the macro rather than the smaller view. So many people right now, and I understand you're excited about OnPassive. You want it to get moving. You want that money to start flowing. You want everything to be working. But OnPassive, if you look at the big view of OnPassive and what's been happening with GITEC, what's been happening in Dubai, the Burj Khalifa, what's happening in Egypt right now, the marketing of OnPassive. And Ash said this the other day, if there was a way to stop the marketing, they probably would have, just while things smooth out, but they can't. So the marketing continues to go forward, continues to move on. And believe me, they're getting millions of people coming into OnPassive. What does that do for you and I, those individuals that are in OnPassive, affiliates participating with OnPassive? I mean, right now, including the founding members, the early bird membership, there are about 3.5 million people that have already that will buy within OnPassive. That's a really, really small number when you look at what OnPassive is doing worldwide. And as OnPassive moves forward with all their marketing, with the countries, with the businesses, with individuals, Ash talked about O-Connect going viral probably this month sometime, in a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks. Well, I'll throw just a number out there just to get you guys awake. I'll just throw a number out there. If you look at O-Connect, and this is what's going to be happening in your organization. If you look at O-Connect, let's say our market is 5.6 billion people, okay? Now, obviously, they're not going to come in and buy O-Connect, not 5.6 billion people. It's not going to happen. Not everybody in the world wants O-Connect. Now, keep in mind that there are products within OnPassive that everybody in the world will buy. But let's just stick with O-Connect right now. What if of that 5.6 billion people, we get 25% of the market will come in and want to use a webinar platform, a video conferencing platform, okay? What is that number? That number is about 1.4 billion. Number's still really, really big. Now, are all of those people going to come in and use O-Connect? I doubt it. I don't think they're going. Maybe that is our market, 1.4 billion. But let's cut it down to 25% of that. If we cut it down to 25% of that, all of a sudden we've got 350 million people coming in and buying O-Connect. So we've skinnied the number down. It's getting really, really small now. But when you look at 350 million, not million, 350 million people coming in and using O-Connect, that's just the number of sales. It's not the actual number that the revenue that OnPassive is going to be bringing in. The revenue that OnPassive is going to be bringing in, if they get that many people, is $87 billion. One product, guys, one product. Does that happen in a year? Yeah, I think it does. If you talk to Collins, if you talk to Andy, if you talk to Ash on O-Connect going viral, it's going to happen very, very quickly, maybe 6 months, 8 months, a year. So $87 billion coming into OnPassive with one product. We know there are 3 or 4 other products coming out behind it. I'm not even going to go there because the numbers just get ridiculous. But if you think about your own situation, all of that income, at least a portion of it, we think about 50%, comes into our kitty and gets distributed to those individuals participating with OnPassive that are affiliates with OnPassive. So you can look at the micro right now. You can get a little anxious. It doesn't do you any good. Things are going to go the way they go, and maybe Collins can talk about that. It's going to smooth out. It's going to get better. O-Connect is going to go viral. These numbers are going to be real. You are going to see these numbers, and this money is going to be coming into those individuals participating with OnPassive, 50% of it. It's a good place to be. I don't think any of us on this panel or anybody listening, I don't think you have to worry about finances, guys. I look at the numbers almost every day, and as I look at them, I used to go a little bigger than this, but I realized the numbers I was using, you can't even comprehend them. So I skinnied it down to one product. It's real. It's going to be happening. It's going to be happening this month. Ash told us that. And when it starts to happen, things smooth out. Everything starts to flow. It's just a good place. Go ahead, guys. I probably took too much time, but
no worries, Mike. No, I think there's a lot of people still don't get this, and there's a lot of people still sitting on the fence, which makes me giggle. Because at the end of the day, the whole point is, and Collins uses this analogy on a regular basis. We have an online store, and if you've got nothing in the store, you can't sell it. Okay, in order to put it in there, you've got to pay for it. But pay for it. Now, again, we're talking numbers at the moment. So Mike mentioned, probably 3.5 million we've got waiting in the wings, ready to go in as customers. Certainly at least 2 million odd rough customers, plus the founders, if you like. So, but there are really, or realistically, probably only about 500,000 of the founders that will actually register for O-Connect. And if that's the case, we get 4 customers each. Fine. No problem. Okay, 4 customers each. Not everybody will buy O-Connect, but the vast majority will. And if they're buying on a quarterly basis, that's $250 a quarter. Thank you very much. This is one product. One product. We know there's O-Verify coming, there's O-Domain, there's O-Booking, there's O-Tracker, there's O-Desk, O-Peer. There's loads of them, guys. There's over 50 products, and every single one of them is another income stream. So I'm a sado. I go to bed with my calculator most nights. Collins, what's your take on this?
Oh, Mike, Andy, you and Mike, you just blow the numbers. Like Mike, Mike, you rightly, said it. There are founders who are just sitting on the fence waiting for something to happen. If you don't take action, nothing will happen. If Mr. Ash didn't take action, there wouldn't have been any OnPassive. So we are here today because one man took action to bring us where we are. So some of the founders, like Andy said, they are still like, oh, are you sure? Maybe it's a dream, because we are used to the old system. You can't do the same thing over and over and expect different result. OnPassive is coming with a different action to produce different result. Why shouldn't we follow to see what this man have in store? There are people who are really doubting and say, how can someone give you something for doing nothing? We are not doing nothing because at least there is an action to take. Being a founder doesn't give you a right, free entering into the the rotator or whatever, or exit for you to start to have financial freedom, you must take action. You know, let's remember that sometimes I used to die. I said this and Oliver was laughing. I said, we should remember, even in the Bible, when the children of Israel, they said, we are also the children of Abraham. What did this man told them, John the Baptist? You know, John the Baptist said, so being the children of Abraham doesn't give you free exit to heaven. You must do something. So Mr. Ash Mufarah giving us OnPassive, come in. Now we are in. We must take action, because being a founder is not a guarantee. You must take action. The action means, have you migrated correctly to the OES? Have you signed the NDA? Like, click that button to become an affiliate. If your intention is to make commission, it's not a must. You know, if your intention is to make commission, you must click it. Have you purchased O-Connect? We know there are people who are still struggling. Yes, good enough. You will still come in because we know you are making the effort. It is not your fault. You know, the system is not Mr. Ashford's fault, but the only thing they are doing is they are trying to control it. Because if they don't control it, what will happen? The system might crash. Because this is something, you know, today Madi said something which was really good. People were comparing, like, what about other companies that have payment processor? When did they start it? Some of them had from the beginning, maybe 500 users, maybe 300 users, growing, moving forward. But we are talking about 1.4 million plus account affiliate that have also come in. They are also paying. Some of them are buying the product. Imagine all of us bombarding that site. What will happen? The system saying, I can't handle this. And you are talking about people paying simultaneously, not like someone pay 1 hour till somebody pay. We are talking about clicking that button simultaneously, struggling to pay. What will happen? The system will say, I can't handle this. That's why Mr. Alfred said, no, we cannot allow this to happen. It happened the first time, happened the second time. Now we need to control it from our end.
Yep.
And yeah, and this is what they are doing, controlling from OnPassive and make sure there is a flow, cash flow, you know, in and out of OnPassive. Because if they leave it, you know, to us, we will shut out everything. If they said one a day or one every 1 hour, some people doesn't listen. They will shut out everything and then come back and say, no, I didn't notice. Because if you look at some of the forum, there are people who doesn't look at it. They come after 3 days and said, why? I've been trying to pay. Where have you been? They are telling us every day, Madi is crying. Everybody go to a lot of webinars. Please take it easy. But some people doesn't listen. And that's why it is good to put this breakpoint to say, okay, this amount, process it. And then next batch, process it, next batch, process. And I believe it's a very good thing for sustainability. Until everything moves smoothly, then they can open it bit by bit, because at that time, all the 1.3 million plus account is in. So everything will move flawlessly. So let us be patient. You know, the system have not crashed. The system is running, but it's about controlling. You know, so if you are hearing this, please share this. The one, as Mike Ellie said, the one we did with Madi and today's own, share it. Let founders listen that we have to take it slowly. You know, it is not your fault, but you will come in. It will open and you will make your payment. Everything is there, still ready. So I will throw it there, take it.
I think we've got a comment here from Joshua. So I've been trying to subscribe with my bank card from Spain. My first suggestion is that you speak to the bank in Spain, because Spanish banks can be a right pain in the proverbial, and oftentimes if they see a weird and wonderful one, then they don't like making the payment. But if you've spoke to the bank and told them that you're going to make this payment and everything's fine, then again, just bear with it. Have a go every 4 or 5 hours until it goes through. It shouldn't be a problem eventually, but it's just, as Colin said, there may be too many people trying at the same time, so they just block several of the payments until such times as they're clear. So, you know, just keep trying, don't give up, not a problem. So, all good. So, Mike, I would love you to tell us a little bit more about All right, so we know, for instance, that O-Connect is likely to go viral, and we know also that there are several other products coming out, and we also know about the fact that our products are going to be under our own database. Now, this is a game changer for us, but give the guys a little bit more insight about why this is going to be such a game changer, because we have over 50 products, but we're looking to put everything in-house, and there's a reason for that, isn't there?
Yeah, there is, Andy, and it's all about digital transformation. I mean, that's what it all comes down to. But before I go there, let me tell everybody, you've listened to Andy, you've listened to Collins, they're spot on. The bottom line, just very, very quickly, to understand what's happening here. If you don't work, you don't eat. It's as simple as that. If you don't work, you don't eat. You're not going to reap any of the benefits of OnPassive. OnPassive, everybody looks at that second part of it, passive, passive, passive. OnPassive is not passive. You have to come in and do the things that Mr. Mufara asked you to do it in his time frame, not yours, and from there you're going to be fine, because OnPassive will go to work for you. Digital transformation, it is what OnPassive is. It's the whole essence of OnPassive, at least the AI IT part of OnPassive, the online digital transformation of OnPassive. And as you bring all of these features together on one platform, and people can come in and use the products of OnPassive on one platform, the first thing that all of these products do is they're interconnected. They talk to each other. And what it does for the individuals that work online, personal, business, government, whoever you are, all of a sudden your life online becomes much, much easier. I know Ash talked about O-Staff the other day, and O-Staff is an HR product, and there's so many complicated things in that product to manage a staff of a business, medium, small, large, or governments. Sometimes the words don't come out as quickly as my mind is putting them there. There's so much involved to manage those individuals. You can hardly comprehend what's involved with that. But if you look at companies that have an HR department, that are managing that HR department today, they probably use 5 or 6 or 7 different programs to manage all their people, whether it's 20, whether it's 200, whether it's 2,000, 20,000. It takes that many apps or products online to manage that. What OnPassive has done, and this gives you an idea of how it's going to work for all of us, whatever you do online. But the HR department, OnPassive, is bringing all of those things online in one place that people can go, and it becomes much, much easier to manage the HR department of that particular company or whatever, government, whatever it is. And when you start to think about digital transformation, it can be either very, very small or it can be massive. And when you think about digital transformation and you think about companies trying to get into the digital age, having that digital transformation, I think a year or 2 years ago, and Collins has heard this number, you probably have too, Andy. 1 year, businesses spent over $1 trillion doing the digital transformation that they wanted to do for their company. And of that $1 trillion, 800 billion of it was just flushed down the toilet. They could not do it. That's really, really important to understand. They could not do it. And because of what Ash and his team is doing, because of what OnPassive has done, now they can come into OnPassive, do that digital transformation. It makes their lives easier. It makes their business easier. Every aspect of their business online becomes easier, and their bottom line becomes way, way better. That's the most important part. It's why companies and people do a digital transformation online. It's the bottom line. How is it going to affect my bottom line? How much more money am I going to make? It's like you and I. How much are we going to make with OnPassive? We can talk about that maybe later, but yeah, you want to make quite a bit. So do these companies. And especially if they're in the red and they can do a digital transformation and all of a sudden become even or in the black, they're just going to do it. So what does that do for OnPassive? What does that do for you and I? Businesses, just for this one product, O-Staff, businesses are just going to flock in. They're just going to flock into OnPassive. And we haven't talked about some of the other products that they'll come in and look at these products and go, where have you been all my life? That's OnPassive. That's why OnPassive is going to go viral. That's why you can't even imagine how big OnPassive is going to get. But yeah, it's all about digital transformation, Andy. I think maybe you guys have something else to add to that, but it
I'm
really
sure
is
Colin
changing
would
the
love
way
to add
people.
something to that.
Yeah, go
But
ahead.
yeah,
Go ahead, Andy.
you're right. It's changing everything.
Yeah.
Go for it, Collins. Tell us what you think.
Yeah, so you know, Mike Ellis, he just put the nail, you know, on the head, because digital transformation is now.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're a company and you can't undergo digital transformation, then there is no way you can even compete in the market. Let's look at, you know, the company called Nokia. What happened to Nokia? They had about 95% share of all mobile phones. At that time, there was nothing like Apple was even struggling. Apple had about 5% share. I think they had 90%, Apple 5%, and you're talking about the other phones, they have 1%. What happened when they start to collapse within the next year, 2018, 2013, they start to drop, and they still refuse. They say, you know what, we are the giant. We can't, we are fine. There's nothing, like Oliver said, we are fine. There's no need. What happened? They dropped because they were creating more analog phone, and then touchscreen came. Apple just come out with touchscreen. They couldn't survive, and they have to say, they just tried to sell the company. You know, they sold the company to what? To Microsoft. Now we have a Microsoft phone. It is Nokia. You know, they changed Nokia to Microsoft phone, and Microsoft is still struggling, though they are producing their stuff. But let's look at it. They refuse to undergo digital transformation, to say, yes, we need to accept change, because digital transformation is about accepting change based on the market volume or what people are thinking. We will not listen to people. We just want to do it our own way. You watch the market, see the market trend, and say, you know what, this is what people would like. And that's exactly what OnPassive is doing. OnPassive look at the whole market and say, you know what, we must digitalize and bring a transformation that have never been seen on this planet Earth. Where's OnPassive today? They started with 1.4 million founders. From us, transforming us, our mindset, and said, there is a better way to do business. Let's forget about the old way. Remember, Mr. Ashmufara told the guys in Hyderabad when they were hiring all the tech guys, they always talk about their way. Mr. Ashmufara said, no, forget your way. Now it is OnPassive way or no way. Yeah, this is OnPassive.
Yeah, I think one of the, how many customers has Facebook got, or how many people have signed up for a fake book? Is it about 3 billion?
Yeah.
Okay, so we know, for instance, that Facebook doesn't sell anything. You've got to, if you want advertising, you have to pay for it, obviously, but they don't actually sell anything. And we know that the privacy laws are a waste of space, because at the end of the day, you can't say what you want to say on Facebook anyway, because they suppress the information. They will only allow you to put what they are comfortable with, and you're not allowed to do anything else. Right? Okay. So one of the things that Marty mentioned the other day is one of the ladies on who's an early bird, Ivy, and there's no excuse, guys. She set up a club with O-Net, which is our social media platform, a total correction to the corruption here. And she simply encouraged people to come and join her in this private club with O-Net. She's taken on 1,000 customers since September, right? But I want to go back to a couple of the numbers, because there is a reason why OnPassive was asked to go to the Arab League of Nations and meet with those and be a strategic partner with those 35 heads of state in Sharm el Sheikh. Right now, the Middle East is a hub, yeah, and we've got the GCC, which is the main ones. Then we've got the Arab Council, yeah, and 35 countries heads came to Sharm el Sheikh, and OnPassive was asked to go and be a strategic partner. Now, what does that mean? Now, take the America out of the equation. I'm sorry, Mike, but we're going to take you out of the equation for the moment. There's only 350 million of you.
That's right.
We don't need 350 million. India has well over 1 billion, probably 1.8, I think it is. And Africa as a continent has 1.8 or 1.5 to 2 billion as well. So we are taking the market by storm. Now, every single company in Africa will, if they use a video conferencing platform, they will have to have O-Connect. And why will they have to have O-Connect? Because we know if you use the competition or the other guys that do this sort of video, play around with a video conferencing platform, you have these problems with connection. We don't have that, because at the end of the day, the AI technology sends you a ping and makes sure that you can still be on the call. Now, this is huge, guys. This is absolutely huge. If OnPassive is meeting with 35 heads of state, 35 heads of state, these are governments. We're already talking and doing business with the UAE government and the Egyptian government because of what we've been doing. And now we've got 35 other guys. This is an entrance into a massive gateway of Africa. Right, so as far as numbers are concerned, listen, as Oliver says, we're fine. You know, this is just the start. So what happens, Collins, when things go viral? What does it mean for the company? What does going viral mean?
As Mike said, viral means shaking up the internet space. It means everyone will know about OnPassive. And there are several products, like Mr. Ash said, O-Connect will go viral. There is a reason for that, the price point. Price point and the features that are in O-Connect. There is no way a company will resist it. Let us look at it in this way. Most companies are struggling with finances. Mike always said it. Most companies are struggling, especially now. Some of them are shutting down because of what? Because they cannot afford the product and services. Like, you know, we are talking about digital age. And if you don't have, or you cannot use what? Most of this software, how do you run your business? How do you run a business without a software, without all staff, without O-Connect? Because since COVID came, the way they do business now have changed greatly. Most people work from home. Nobody want to hear hybrid. Hybrid, 2 days in the office, 1 day. Most people say, no, I'm done. I'm done. Because now health is more important than even meeting face to face, because some people are still scared. But you cannot penalize them for being afraid. What happened? And you need them, because you need the know-how. You need a video conferencing platform for them to have meetings. Where would they go? O-Connect. Where would they go? Because the price, imagine we're talking about now as we speak, it is very cheap. The cheapest, 3 months, they're giving you O-Connect is what? Let's say 250 or 243 or 240 divided by 3 is how much? It's under almost $50 per month for 10,000 participants. Every company will want it, and the features. How much will Zoom give you? 10,000 participants for Zoom is $6,500 US. So that's the difference. That's the mass difference. A lot of people are not looking into it. Every company will come because, one, it is cost effective. It is futuristic. You know, they will come for O-Connect. O-Connect, I even look at it, is above video conferencing platform. A platform where you have, it's like you have that personal connection with the tool. Is it an event you want to run? By the time you come into the meeting, you know it's an event. Is it a funeral? You come into a meeting, you know, oh my God, this funeral service going on. Nobody will tell you. Only the background will tell you. You know, is it a celebration or whatever you are doing? It is there. AI in the making. Speech to text within O-Connect. Multi-language translation coming. Voice cancellation. What else do you want? You can stay in an airport and still work. In a noisy area, you can still have your meeting successful without people even noticing that you are in a noisy area. What else do you want? Video background. Where have you seen that? So we can go on and on. There is no way. Mr. Ashby said, look at it this way. Somebody will say, you know what? What if another company come and do the same thing? Mr. Ashby said, yes, they can come. He said, no, I'm not refusing. Even if I give them the architectural design, they can go and build a bed. What they will lack is having the heart for humanity. Are they ready to share the proceed with others? That is what they would never do, because the shareholders will tell you, give me more, give me more, give me more. That's the crazy part of OnPassive. That is where nobody, no company on earth will beat OnPassive, because of that humanitarian part, where he is ready to share the proceed with every founders and affiliate. So I can go on and on, but I'll trade them Mike.
We can indeed, absolutely. Mike, so closing comments, what would you like to add?
Andy, let me talk about this just for a second. You know, what both of you have said is very, very powerful. It really is. And it's all about things going viral. Andy, you talk about the different countries that we're in, the audience that OnPassive is bringing to the table. And this is all about the marketing of OnPassive, because this is where you have to start. You have to get OnPassive in front of people. And Ash Mufareh and his team are just absolutely a whiz at doing that. I mean, when you think about Africa, when you think about the Middle East, you talk about the United States, Andy, and you're right, it's a very, very small market. But I can tell you flat out, OnPassive has the whole United States. I know the United States. I know how to market in the United States. We have everybody in the United States, and that's 360 million people. It's a done deal. You don't even have to worry about that. But it's the same way in Europe or in Asia or in Africa or in the Middle East, because of what Ash and his team have done. And then you bring in the product side that Colin's talked about, because the products are so superior to anything else that's on the market. It's just over. I mean, it's like taking candy from a baby. And OnPassive, because of what Mr. Mufareh has done, because of what the tech side has done, because of what the corporate side has done, understand you're in a position where, and Ash says this many, many times, you will become the hunted. As soon as people know you're in OnPassive, you've been OnPassive for a year or 5 years, doesn't matter. People are going to hear about OnPassive and they're going to go, well, Susie's in that. Let's go ask her. What is it? You got them. They're in. They're going to be in OnPassive because they have to be if they're online. It really is as simple as that. Sorry about that, Andy. What were you asking?
No, I was just going to say, perhaps you can give us some final comments. But there you go.
I've got more.
Look, Mike, you fire away. Give us some more.
You know, you all hit so many great points, and so much. You know, these things just go off in my mind. And I think about companies throughout the world. This is worldwide. It's not one particular country. It's worldwide. I've been in business my whole life. I've never worked for anybody. I've always had my own company. I've always been in business. It is really, really hard. And a lot of times you get to a point where you want to go forward, but you just can't. There's just no way you have the money to do the things you need to move forward. OnPassive is going to be the savior. And Ash talked about this the other day. Marty talks about this quite a bit. OnPassive is going to be the savior for so many businesses for so many different reasons. Number one, they're going to be able to come in, get the products they need to do their business the proper way. And it's not going to cost them an arm and a leg. And while they're doing that, they're going to see that, while they're doing it, OnPassive is actually growing beneath their feet. They don't even know what's happening, but they go into their back office, and because of what Ash and his team is doing, all of a sudden there's a little bit of money there. So now they've got a little bit more revenue to spend on their business. They can do that, and now they want to get eyes in front of their company, eyes in front of what they're doing. That's so critical to any business. People have to know what you're doing, and they're going, well, what do I do? How do I get, I've done everything I need to do, but how do I get people to look at me? Well, OnPassive, they have a traffic source. Again, they can start driving traffic to their business. And while they're doing that, while they're driving traffic, when people come on and click on their ad, they get paid for that. That is OnPassive traffic. How can you be, and again, more revenue? And it just goes on and on and on, the way OnPassive can help business. And in the end, if you have a business you love, it's gonna thrive and prosper. But you're also going to find that you're going to be on OnPassive. You're going to have another stream of revenue, and over time, and this is over time, guys, that revenue will overtake whatever you're doing with your business. And now your business is a hobby because your life is paid for by OnPassive. This is OnPassive. This is what we do. We change the whole dynamic. And it's a really, really fun thing to think about. If you're not thinking about it, you need to be. You can think micro, but think macro. It's so much bigger than you know. Yeah, and it's where Andy is, it's where Collins is where I'm at, and that's why we wake up with a smile. And believe me, each day that smile's getting bigger.
Oh,
go ahead, guys.
Absolutely. I think for me, once I got that, I had that light bulb moment where you go, oh my God, I get it. Right? Everything else kind of pales into insignificance because, you know, I to be fair, as you guys know, I've been a financial advisor for many years, and thanks to the pandemic, we had businesses basically, you know, almost shutting down. It was taking so long to get anything done because companies weren't in their offices, etc. So it was causing problems. So there are an awful lot of companies or businesses that have suffered because of that. And you know, we've mentioned about the shareholder side of things. This is the only company I've ever come across which actually means that you can get paid to use a product that will enhance your business. That's nuts. Who does that? Yeah, phenomenal. And like you say, Mike, every morning I wake up with a smile on my face, and lots of people kind of look at me as if to say, "Oh, you're nuts." You know, it's this little cheeky grin on my face. But hey, hey. Collins, final comments then.
Let me just say, and this will be my final comment. Like, I just want to agree with what Mike said. You know, OnPassive have built a platform for business, for every businesses and normal people like you and I to strive. And OnPassive is limitless. So if you choose to limit yourself, it's up to you. Because Mr. Ashford said everything OnPassive is unlimited. So it's up to us now if we want to limit ourselves, because the truth is how far you can go will base on your understanding of OnPassive.
Yep.
It is easy, as simple. It's click, click, click. Mr. Ash said he will show us the way. He will lead us, you know, each and every step on the way. But now it's now upon us to listen, because like Michael Williams said yesterday, there must be only one captain in a ship. Mr. Ashmofara is the captain to lead us because he knows better. He knows what is coming. The only thing we need to do is to listen and follow instruction. And the moment you follow instruction, truly you will succeed. There is no way you will fail if you don't follow. There is no way you will fail if you choose not to limit yourself. You will not fail whilst you're in OnPassive. There is no way. But if you decide to be a founder without doing everything, do the following, know that you will not even succeed. Like Mike Ellis said, you will not succeed if you don't migrate, you don't purchase a product. And he's saying every day, you cannot sell an empty shop. You cannot sell online shop. There is nothing there. There's nothing you can sell. Why should you send customer to a place where it's empty? They will come back and tell Mr. Ash, but you point me to that place I went there, there is nothing. And they will never believe in him. They say, you said you built a product. We went there, there was nothing to build. Not empty website cannot give us anything. It is the product. And what we have to do is get it, own it. You know, own everything. Multiple source of traffic, multiple source of income. When you own it, you will win. So I will leave it there.
There's two things I want to say. First of all, happy birthday, Stephanie. I saw the comments. I hope you've had a great day. The other one is Peter Rogers, we know, has a convenience store, and his monthly bills are something like 70,000 to put stock in his shop. Now we have an online shop, and we kind of pay once, because at the end of the day, with the customers that are coming in, that's then covered. I don't have to buy it for every single customer to be able to sell it. We're lucky. This is an easy situation in comparison to having to run a physical premises and put stock in your shop for people to come into it. Now, our shop is going to be everywhere across the globe. And I mean everywhere, because we're going to get paid while we sleep. There is no other business like it on the market, guys. Thank you, gentlemen. Mike, final saying.
The last thing I would leave people with is understand OnPassive is regulating the number of people that can come in and buy. And there's a window, and it opens up and closes every day. And that window is the only time you can come in and buy. If you miss that window, just wait till the next day. But every day, every week that goes by, that window gets a little bigger, a little bigger, a little bigger, a little bigger, to where you don't even notice there's a window there of OnPassive approving sales to come into the merchant account. And they're doing it for the merchants. They don't want to overwhelm the merchants. That's why they're doing it. It's a really, really good thing. Don't get frustrated with it. If you miss the window, come in an hour. If you miss that window, come in next day. Because over the course of time, that window is going to get bigger, bigger, bigger. You won't even notice it I think in 2 weeks. You won't even know it's there. You'll just be able to go in and pay. No waiting, no nothing. So that's it.
Excellent. Thank you, guys. And Mike, thank you so much for joining us today.
My pleasure.
I always love listening to you. To you. We obviously share the numbers, and it's very exciting. As I said, I'm a saddo and go to bed with my calculator. Right, guys, thank you very much indeed. We'll see you next time.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.